Welcome to the Bot Signal, your home for news and views about messenger chatbots. Today, a little retrospective. We're going to talk about my biggest lesson in messenger bots. Coming right up. So, a little bit of background. Here's how I got into messenger bots. One day, I was poking around on the internet, as one does. Yes, I'm one of those people who just need to know the latest and greatest in marketing technology. And I was tripping along some groups and I saw one that a friend of mine was a part of. It was called Bot Academy. I had heard this same friend talking about bots, and I thought to myself, messenger bots, that seems like a little bit of cognitive dissonance, but it sounds like I should investigate. So, followed her into the group. In the group's description, that little sidebar on the right-hand side, there was a simple statement. It said, "Start here," and then there was a link underneath it. I figured I'll be all right. I clicked the link. Immediately, I was taken to a landing page with a inviting me to get this information about what bots were delivered to my Facebook Messenger. And I slid right in there, started learning about bots, and it took me about 5 minutes to fall in love. And that was the beginning of the journey. I got on the bot, and that thing, it was over. I wrote a sequence immediately. It was, in fact, more successful than the $5,000 course that I had just taken. And when I say more successful, I mean bottom line ROI successful. I wrote one sequence and I got more clients from it than using the tactics I had learned in the $5,000 class that I'd taken 3 months before. And honestly, it took me about 2 weeks. It took me about 2 weeks to change my business completely over to bots, bot building, messenger bots. It's all about that now. And then, after that really successful high, and it was absolutely fabulous. Then, if you're having success doing one thing, why not put the pedal to the metal, baby? I mean, please, let's go with this thing. I flipped over my business to a bot building business, finished out the rest of my contracts, and then I wrote a bunch of sequences. I thought to myself, hey, if that one was so successful, then if I write 5, it'll be 5 times more successful. And I wrote a bunch of sequences. What I ended up getting was less response, more effort, but it seemed like people weren't making it all the way through these sequences, and they had taken a long time to write. There was a lot of stuff going on in the back end that the user never sees, but that allowed me to qualify people and do all of these different things that I wanted to do and invite some to a webinar in 3 months and blah, 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 blah. It was very, very complicated bot. These 5 sequences were very complicated, and I was getting little response. I was getting people dropping off right in the middle of a sequence. I was getting more unsubscribes than usual. I was getting a lot of feedback that wasn't, it wasn't actively somebody saying, this is boring or there's too many questions or anything like that. It wasn't active person-to-person feedback, but I was getting all kinds of signs in my bot that things weren't going well. And next, I'll tell you what happened. So then I had my very own personal what the fire truck moment. Because, as I said, I changed my business around to be completely about bots. I did this with the trust of my wife, who has never been in business for herself, but has seen my ups and downs over the past few years. I was panicking. Was I wrong about bots? Did I have a flash in the pan success and decide to jump in with both feet? I mean, because That's the kind of person I am. I jump in with both feet. I was once offered a chance to go abroad for an entire semester in grad school, and I took it. It was for Germany and Austria. I traveled to those countries not knowing how to speak any of the language. I certainly put some effort into that, but I'm a person who will take off for 5 months for an adventure. And it seemed to me like perhaps I had done that again, but in a bad way, that I had been so focused on this is the future, this is awesome, that I hadn't taken the time enough to do my due diligence. I was really afraid. But it turns out I wasn't wrong at all about bots. My approach was wrong. My approach was wrong. I don't blame myself for this. We are taught as small business owners to approach marketing in a certain way. And I was only focused on what I had to say. Here's the problem: I didn't appreciate anything except transaction based relationships, and I was only focused on me. It was all about me. Listen, the big secret is this: it isn't about me, it's about you. In a bot, it isn't about me. If I can give you some valuable information, I will do it because I do not want to waste your time. Listen, time is the big commodity, isn't it? Some say time is the enemy. I was so focused on only what I had to say and so focused on those transaction based relationships that I lost sight of the fact that this is the form of marketing that is a two-way conversation. So I changed what I was doing pretty much right away. I went ahead and simplified a lot of those really complex sequences that I was trying to run people through. And I focused instead on conversations. Yes, super important to deliver quality information in a way that fits Messenger as a platform, not dogging that, but I was more focused on conversations that I was having with people. Was I taking those conversations from inside the chatbot to a one-on-one of some kind outside the chatbot? Because two-way marketing is a thing now. It's a thing now. It hasn't always been a thing. It's pretty new to the scene as far as I'm concerned. But two-way marketing is what bots are all about. And they're not about me, what I know, what I'm doing, and maybe every once in a while I'll throw you a bone and ask you how you are. No, no, we are done. I am done. I am done with that kind of marketing. It never got me anywhere. It always made me feel sleazy, and it always made me feel like I was hitting people over the head with what I was doing. You know what? It's not about me. It's about you. And it's really about us. And that's the way that it's going to go. You know, it used to be when the internet and the dot-com boom and all of that kind of stuff started up, it was all about if you build it, they will come, right? Apologies to Kevin Costner right now. But it isn't that way anymore. You can build the most stellar, awesome class that the world has ever seen. But the problem is the internet is full of them. And it's not full. In fact, it's really, really lacking in two-way conversations, in really taking the time to get to know another human and to figure out where they belong in your circle. Maybe really close, maybe not at all. We've all had those kinds of interactions, but this two-way conversation, this marketing in a way that doesn't make me feel sleazy anymore, and marketing a way where I'm focusing on conversations, this is why I made the decision to go into bots, and I have never been more happy or more busy in my entire life. Thanks for listening today. You can find full episodes of The Bot Signal on your favorite podcast player. And if you have the Anchor app, stop in, ask me a question, leave me a voice message, and I'll include it on my next show. If you're completely new to bots and you don't know what's going on there, visit me at checkoutmybot.com. Start a conversation with me, take my free mini course. It's all available. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you in a bot.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.